everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to give you a tour of two different Google Sheets social media content planners that are available in my website. The first one is the simple social media content calendar and the second one is the 12-month social media content planner. So both of them are Google Sheets templates and I get a lot of messages asking about the difference between them. So I figured I would make a video giving you a quick overview of both templates and explaining what the difference is. So let's get into it and let's start with the simple social media content calendar. So as you can tell from the title, this version is simpler and the main feature of this template is the content calendar tab. And the way this works is you're going to create your content plan in this table. You're going to assign a date to each piece of content. And when you do that, whatever you add in here will be automatically displayed in this calendar view in the corresponding date. So in this table, you're only going to edit cells that have a white background. The first thing you're going to see is 3 drop-downs. These are fully customizable. You can change both the title and the elements that are going to be found inside the drop-downs. You can do that from the settings tab. So you set a title, you set the elements that you want to see inside the drop-downs, and then it will update automatically over here. So you can make your selections for each piece of content. You can also set an idea text explaining what this post is going to be about. And to set a date, you can double click on any of these date cells. You select a date, and when you do, this information will be automatically displayed in the corresponding day in the calendar. And then you can add some additional information to each piece of content. This is what's going to be displayed in the calendar. Everything else is just for your own reference. So you have a status dropdown. The elements are also fully customizable. You have room for your caption, call to action, hashtags, and then you have this copy paste column over here that is going to join automatically these 3 texts. So you can copy them and paste them somewhere outside the spreadsheet all at once. You have room for notes. You can add an image if you like. And then you have this checklist over here that you can use if you have a process that you go through for every piece of content. So you can customize up to 7 steps and then you can use the checkboxes to track your progress. So you have your content planner table, you have your calendar view, and then if you scroll to the right, you're going to find an additional table. So if there are any other important dates or events that you want to display in your calendar along with your content plan, you can add them in this table right here. So this can be holidays, this can be any date that's relevant to your business, a product launch, for example. So whatever you add here will be automatically displayed in the corresponding day. And finally, if you keep scrolling, you're going to find the specific post view. So if you want to display all the information that you added for a specific post, all you have to do is select the post number. So over here, you'll find the number that belongs to each post. So you select a post number and then all the information that you added for that post is going to be automatically displayed in this table right here. So as you can see, everything is contained in a single tab and this tab is completely undated. You can add dates for absolutely any month, any year, and it will continue working. And the way you control what gets displayed in the calendar is through this cell over here. So if you double click on this calendar start date cell and you pick a different start date, the calendar will update and every post will still be displayed in its corresponding day. So you can change the start date as often as you like and the calendar will always update to display the next 12 weeks of content. So this template is undated, it's not tied to any particular month or year, and it doesn't have a fixed structure. So you can decide if you want to continue working on the same tab for an entire month, for a couple of months, for the whole year, entirely up to you. And this tab has room for 150 pieces of content, and you can create as many duplicates of this tab as you want and keep all your copies in the same file. So this template is flexible in the sense that you get to create your own structure, and what makes it simple is that all the features are contained in a single tab. Now let's talk about the 12-month version. First of all, this template does have a fixed structure. This is a yearly file with 1 tab per month. And you're going to start by setting the month in which you want your template to begin. This can be any month, any year. So once you do that, your first tab will be assigned to that month, and then the rest of the tabs will adapt accordingly. So all 12 monthly content planner tabs look and work exactly the same way. They are similar to what we just saw in the simple version, but but they also include some additional features. So in this version, you start by adding your post idea, and then you have room for 5 custom dropdowns. So the previous version only had 3. This version has 5 custom dropdowns. You can change both the title and the elements found inside each of these dropdowns. So you fill out this information, you set a date, and one of the main differences between this version and the simple version that we just saw is that in this file, the date that you assign has to match the month that you're working on. So in this tab, I'm only going to be working on the content for January. When I'm ready to start working on February, I'm going to jump into the next tab, and then I'm going to do the same thing for an entire year. So this file does have a fixed monthly structure. So for each piece of content, you set the date. You can also set a specific time, and then you have the caption, call to action, hashtags. And one of the biggest differences between this file and the simple version is that this file also includes a hashtag manager. So you're going to find that in this tab over here, and you can use this space to save groups of hashtags that you use frequently throughout your content. You have room to create a maximum of 100 groups. You give each group a name, you add your tags over here. You can add up to 30 tags, and then when you're content planning, you can jump into this section over here, find one of your groups, and when you select it, the tags that you assigned to that group will immediately appear over here, so you can easily copy and paste them into your content. So this hashtag manager is unique to this version. It's not included in the simple version. And then to the right, you have some other optional sections. You can add an image, notes, there's room for a link if that's useful to you. And then this copy paste section over here will automatically join your caption, call to action, and hashtags, so you can easily copy and paste it somewhere outside the spreadsheet. And then again, you have this checklist over here. This one has room for up to 10 steps. The simple version has room for 7 steps. You can customize the steps, and then you can use the checkboxes to track your progress. And then if you scroll to the right, you're going to find the specific post view. So if you want to display all the information for a particular post, you can jump into this section, select the post number, and then all the information that you added for that post will be displayed in this view. And you can use this link over here to jump into that particular row. So the layout for the specific post view is a bit different in this version. And then this link over here that allows you to jump into that particular post, this is unique to the 12-month version. This is not included in the simple version. So this template includes 12 monthly tabs. They all look and work exactly the same way, and each tab has room for as many pieces of content as you want. It initially includes 150 rows, but you can insert as many rows as you need and grow this list and make it as big as you want. So this is something that you cannot do in the simple version. The simple version has one tab that includes 150 rows, and when you run out of rows, you need to create a new blank copy of that tab so you can continue. So that's another big difference between both templates. So you might have noticed that in this 12-month version, there is no calendar in this content planner tab. And the reason for that is that this template includes a single calendar view tab that is shared between all months. So it's initially blank. This is what it's going to look like. And you have this drop down over here in which you can select one of your months, and then all the content that you planned for that month will be displayed in its corresponding day. And initially, you're going to see your entire content plan for that month displayed in the calendar, but you can also use these filters over here to narrow down what is being shown. You can delete them and then everything comes back. So these filters are made up of the 5 drop downs that you can find over here. Remember, you get to customize both the title and the elements that are going to be found inside each drop down. You're going to do that during the initial setup in this section right here. So you have your filters, and then you have some other display settings over here. So initially for each post, you're going to see your 5 drop down selections and your idea text, but you can use these checkboxes over here to control which drop down selections are being shown, and you can check and uncheck these boxes dynamically. You can also decide how much of your idea text is going to be displayed, how many characters. So as you can see, this calendar is a lot more dynamic than the one found in the simple version, and it's also shared between all 12 content planner tabs. So you can choose a different month, and then the entire content plan for that month will be displayed in the calendar. And then this 12-month version also includes a way to display other important dates along with your content plan, but it looks a bit different. In the 12-month version, you get an annual planner tab. So in this tab, you get 12 sections, one for each month. And if you have any other important dates that you want to include in the calendar, you can add them into this table right here, and they will be shown in the calendar view in their corresponding day along with your content plan. And if you don't want to display them, you can just uncheck this box and then they will disappear. You can check it again. They will appear, and then every single day that has an important date assigned will be highlighted in blue. And then this annual planner also includes a couple other features. It includes space for you to add your top goals for the month if you have any important links that you want to save, and it also includes a to-do list. So as I mentioned, this version includes 12 monthly tabs, and once the 12 months are over, you can simply create a new blank copy of the template and start fresh. And remember, you can start on any month that you want. You don't have to start in January. The template will work with any start month, any year. So to recap, in the simple version, you have one main content planner tab that includes all the features in that one tab. So you have your content planner table, you have your calendar, your other important dates section, and your specific posts view, all within the same tab. This tab is not tied to any particular month or year, so you get to create your own structure. And this table has a fixed number of rows. It includes 150 rows, and once you run out of space, you need to create a duplicate of this tab so you can continue, or you can choose to continue working on a new file. And then the 12-month version does have a fixed structure. It includes 12 monthly tabs in which you're going to create your content plan. You can add as many rows into each of these tabs as you want, and then your entire content plan will come together in the calendar view. This is dynamic, it has filters, it has display settings, and then this version also includes a hashtag manager, so you can save groups of hashtags that you use frequently. You have your annual planner where you can create a general overview of what your month is going to look like before you start content planning. And once your 12 months are over, you can just create a new blank copy of the template and start fresh. And as a bonus, both versions include an idea brain dump tab, so you can save your ideas before you commit them to a specific day, and then when you're ready to use them, you can just copy and paste them into your content plan. So if you're looking for something simple that has enough features to help you get started, I would go for the simple version. And then if you want something that has more features, more structure, and you're willing to spend a bit more time customizing it, then I would go for the 12-month version. So that was an overview of both templates. Hopefully the difference was clear. I designed them in pink, but you can easily change the theme colors to match your style. And if you would like to get any of these files, I'm gonna leave the link to them in the description. I'm also gonna leave the link to a bundle in case you want to get them both. With each template, you're gonna receive a PDF file that includes the link to access the Google Sheets spreadsheet, written instructions, and a link to a full tour video, so you can follow along while you're filling out your own version. If you have any other questions, I'm gonna leave my email in the description. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.